Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4, and today, spawning in the northwest corner of the map, playing in blue, we've got Marinelord, playing as the Abbasid dynasty, and his opponent in the southeast, playing in red, we've got loueMT as the Delhi Sultanate. Welcome everyone to Cliffside. Two civilizations that really do factor and favour the berries, which is kind of fun to see, because on a map like Cliffside you do get a lot of sheep, so both players are going to be fighting out for the sheep. Marinelord went south, Louis went north. And it's all because of the fact they take berries nice and early. Yeah, NPC cheering in the intro. I love it. And I didn't know what he said, but hopefully... Actually, I wonder if anyone can help me out in the YouTube comments or Twitch chat could tell me what the Abbasid dynasty villagers said then. During the intro, it'd be kind of cool to hear. Either way, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome on in. Hope you're having a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. We're casting live on Twitch these days, so welcome in Twitch chat. Now, I've got to say, this gold generation for Cliffside is pretty far out. Not that it necessarily matters for the Delhi, because they want to put some pressure on the feudal age with, Ghazi raiders, you name it. But it could be an issue as we head into maybe the castle age at some point in this game. Back golds for Marinelord, very nice, safe and secure. The Abbasid dynasty versus the Delhi. I like this matchup, I really do, because the Delhi have got that tempo aggression. Feudal age is very heavy for them. Ghazi raiders, mobility. They look to try and get the sacred sites if they can. And very few civilizations can keep up to them. I'll tell you what, that's a lot of sheep. Holy smokes. loueMT, I saw how his pathing was pretty well in the early stages of the scouting pattern, and he got so many. Absolutely insane number of sheep. That's a pretty bad haul after all for Marinelord. 8 in total. It could be worse, but to be fair, it's the same for loueMT actually. There's one straying behind. I think it looks worse though for Marinelord because it's all scattered out. There's like a good 4 sheep here. Overall, actually, my eyes have been deceptive. It's fairly equal on that front in terms of sheep. Either way, the reason why I love this matchup is because obviously Delhi have that big feudal age pressure. The Abbasid dynasty though, don't sleep on them. Second town centre into just mass units can play really nicely in extended feudal age, especially with the military wing opening. If they can put some pressure nice and early, get a couple of units, make sure a second town centre isn't punished too much. The question is whether is that something that they do. Like, second town centre is pretty strong for the Abbasid dynasty, courtesy of the fresh foodstuffs upgrade. Makes the villagers 35% cheaper, and I think because of that, it lets them scale the economy, but without hitting their military production too much. It's going to be the Tower of Victory for the Delhi Sultanate, going to be able to increase that attack speed of infantry by 20%. Definitely a very nice bonus for them. That's for sure. Wheelbarrow coming in for Delhi, of course, as you expect. All the upgrades will be free. But I think generally this matchup is kind of cool because you've got 2 town centers often. I mean, I'm jumping the gun, but you kind of have to expect it from the Abbasids, right? Probable 2 town centers from the Abbasids versus 1 town center Delhi, but I think the fact that the Abbasids get fresh foodstuffs is a really key telling difference. A lot of the civilizations that have to pay full price for food, costs for their villagers, they really suffer when they go second town center to be able to keep up with military production. Abbasid dynasty, on the other hand, don't have such a problem. Also, bear in mind with the military wing, will give them access to boot camp, so if it does go for spearmen, or even archers, or even both, they'll have an additional 15%. Now, archers as well scale really nicely for the Abbasid dynasty. With composite bows in the castle age, increases their attack speed of archers by 33%. It's an interesting unit to have because a lot of the times the archers actually start to fall off in many matchups in the castle age because of the fact that really castle age unlocks heavily armored units, whether it be lancers, whether it be camel lancers, whether it be man-at-arms. Archers tend to not do so well against that, but when you factor in a 33% attack speed buffer, it's not too shabby. And also boot camp. Military wing, of course, was chosen for Marinelord. Going to get 2 spearmen, 2 archers to put some pressure on. Not too much to pressure. I mean, the village has already preemptively been taken off of the berries. So food could become a problem in some ways, but it's got plenty of sheep, as we remembered from a while back. Not that... Wait, do we actually have... Yeah, okay, apparently it does. Oh, they're hiding in the north corner. There they are. The town centre. Just behind. Right, loueMT pulled away the scout in the right time. The question is, where does the abbasid go for the second town centre? Probably on berries. I mean, that would be a nice spot. Not much else around, though, to be fair. You'd love to get 2 resources together if you could, ideally. Doesn't seem quite doable. I mean, whilst berries are a nice bonus for the abbasids, maybe this could be a good spot. Deer and wood, at least. 2 resources rather than 1. Looks like he's going to go for the berries in the north in the end. Oh no, just the woodline. Curious decision that, by the way. Because with 1 palisade wall, it could have walled off to the cliff. And would have been really safe and secure. Either way, going to secure up wood for now, the abbasids, and stable being made by the Delhi for those Ghazi raiders. Has 1 blacksmith already so far, so looking to queue up those upgrades. Now what's kind of cool is that with the Tower of Victory, it does delay the scholars coming out to the map, so for a good thing, it's a good thing for the abbasids for sure. It allows them to get a second town centre, but also not be as punished, right? Because of course, if you go for the Dome of the Faith, you're more likely to get scholars out nice and earlier, to get those sacred sites a little bit earlier, get more gold for them. But the abbasids don't have to be worried about that too much. What they do have to be worried about is the extra 20% attack speed of infantry, but bear in mind, if we're talking about purely about archers, well, wait until Castle Age and the Abbasid Dynasty archers are just straight up better. Delhi, though, going to be able to wall up with those infantry units in the middle of the map and then secure that sacred site in a really big way. There's that typical archer range follow-up for the Delhi. Wait, is he pushing? Interesting enough. Yeah, we've seen this a couple of times. Marinelord, in fact, not that was a long distance pushing. Holy smokes. But he uses 2 archers and 2 spearmen to do just that. Great use of the military wing, I guess. Felt like he couldn't do damage, so he might as well get the deer camp in. And I love this play. This is actually really good because this is so much food for Marinelord at the moment. It's still got 8 sheep and it's got plenty of deer underneath the town centre. Don't forget his villages are 35% cheaper, so this is going to be a fantastic amount of units popping out. And double arch range. Here comes the production. 1 barracks as well. Second stable being added for the Delhi, really posturing towards that heavy feudal age. 2 sacred sites being captured at the same time. Give it a moment, and the Abbasid Dynasty will start pumping out units of their own, though. And they're still going to get palisade wall on the right side, so they're going to be very safe and secure on this side of things. Now, the curious situation is that he's got palisades, so he's going to be able to deny Marinelord just heading out to decap them. At least the one in the middle. I wonder if he's going to look to try and activate the sacred timer by going north. Ghazi Raiders just charging down the scout. I mean, I think the scout dies in the end. He does. Despite having a bit of a head start. The reduced movement speed of the scout compared to the horsemen, or Ghazi Raiders in this sense, always leaves them a little bit exposed to that. Archers being sent to the wood line. This is where loueMT is going to try and put some pressure. It's all going to be down to Marinelord to defend as best as he can. Palisades, this is going to buy a lot of time. Sure, he'll bend down it eventually, but I think Marinelord is no real rush to adjust this. Like, he can just continue to pump out units and he should be fine. Now, the sacred sites will be adding into the gold coffers a little bit for the Delhi, which is definitely helpful. So slowly but surely, he might be edging towards that castle age, although if he continues to produce the units he's getting, he's got double stable. There's even a scholar inside this one, getting efficient production, increasing the production by 100%, so that's going to be effectively 3 stables. I mean, he can't afford to keep producing from all 3 anyway, so I think that second stable is a bit of a mistake, really, for Louis. I mean, you might need it later on anyway, but at least temporarily, he's not going to be able to produce from both. He's actually got efficient production in the other one as well, so that's the equivalent of 4 stables. Yikes. Now, at some point, with the number of units he's got, he might have to think about going to the castle age. I think it's a good move, because ultimately, you can't really play an extended feudal age in this scenario. Like, you know your Abbasid Dynasty opponent is on 2 town centers, so if you keep waiting it out, it's not going to work. It needs to do some damage, and it's got to be either done in the feudal age, quickly, now, or take up to the castle age and do it instantly then as well. Either way, got to do it quick. He's heading north. Boot camp coming in relatively soon. Sacred sites being decapped in the south, being decapped in the north as we speak. In the middle, Louis. He's looking to be aggressive. Now, of course, it remains to be seen. I wonder what Delhi Sultan will look to try and get to the castle age with if he does ever decide to go there, because it doesn't really seem like he's in his way. Instead, it's going to look to put even more pressure on the feudal age. Decent number of archers for Marinelord. Going to try and go for a ram here, Louis. Yeah, he's piling on the pressure. He recognises that really he has to do some damage before the economy for the abbasid dynasty get out of control. And almost already has. At least comparatively. Marinelord trying to break on through. Now he spots the cavalry, they're charging in, they decided better of it, and there's not that many spearmen. I mean, if loueMT can snipe out the spearmen that Marinelord has, that would allow the Gazis to dive on in. Secretariat's being captured once again in the north, and the south, in fact. Starting to make a move on in. Louis feels like he needs to do damage, and he feels that pressure too. Good archer numbers. He's focusing on villages though. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a play, but got to focus on the spearmen too. So now the Gazis to do their work. Villagers coming in to repair, or at least garrison inside the second town centre. Plenty of archers for Marinelord. I mean, I think he kind of... Does he hold this? I'm not so sure. I mean, the Gazi Raiders are starting to lose a decent amount of HP, fighting on these two out town centres, and a spearman or two here would do wonders. And with the Gazis all gone, it just leaves virtually, well, essentially just archers. And I mean, Delhi has having to back away now. That push didn't work in the end. Villagers coming with their torches, trying to get the ram. Didn't quite manage it. Going to repair the archery. That's actually clutch. Repairing that is massive. Saves on the wood, which of course the abbasid dynasty don't really have that much of right now. But behind all this aggression, loueMT has captured all three sacred sites, activating that win condition timer potentially. But he has not given up here, loueMT, getting another ram added into the mix. Steeled arrow on the way. It looks like he's just buying the food and wood he needs actually at this point. So maybe loueMT will be able to produce from double stables. Not quite. Guys are ready, stopping a little bit. Now the archers in the back line to do what they want to do. Rams need to lead the charge actually, I think, this scenario. Because what it does, it forces Marinelord into getting villagers to try and torch them down. Or even better still, forces the army to focus on them. That will allow the Delhi Sultanate to do some damage. Third ram being built. Now ultimately this is all buying time for the Delhi Sultanate. Makes it really tricky for the abbasids. They're going to have to push out at some point. Might be starting to need a farming transition though, which is not ideal. Third ram up and running. I think 3 is the magic number. loueMT believes as well. loueMT looking to put some pressure on that second town centre, which might crumble really quickly by the way. Because it only actually has 7 garrisonable spots, and I mean, doesn't have the most HP in the world in a structure. Raids continue. There are the 3 rams, and if the villagers do try and torch them down, well, those archers for Louis might start to have something to say about that. Marinelord trying to hold firm with boot camped archers, fighting underneath the town centre. Louis trying to get that second town centre down, and relatively low on health. I mean, does have a couple of villages repairing. Would it be enough that the archers now starting to focus on the villages, which is exactly what we anticipated? It does still have a villager lead. But bear in mind, with the archers for loueMT was focusing on the villagers, it allows Marinelord's archers to take care of the fight and really put some pressure on. And it just keeps on adding in horsemen here at the Delhi, or Gazi Raiders I should say. It's looking pretty decent at this. Got 7 minutes on the timer. Bear in mind with the gold he's got, he's just going to be trading into the market most likely. Until it's at a terrible position, cost-wise that is. Yeah, you can see the prices have been changed. Villagers coming out to torch their rams. Archers there for the abbasid, holding off Gazi Raiders and then closing down the gap between them and the Delhi Sultanate archers. Oh, God, the Delhi have to back away. He doesn't have any meat shield. He lost quite a few on the retreat, which is not ideal. Not ideal by any means if you're playing as the Delhi. 6.5 minutes left. Not long. No palisades here in the south. No palisades in the north. Looking very risky. And bear in mind, the Abbasids still only tier 1. Well, I said that tier 2 just came in now, actually. It's getting an additional 15% gather rate for all villages and all the resources, but also research speeds have been increased by 15%. Both players actually relatively evenly poised, all things considered. Despite being 2 town centers versus 1, villager lead is, well, non-existent. 17 villages have died here for Marinelord. So the greed does sometimes come at a cost. Guys, when he's diving on in, they're probably going to lose their lives unless they back away. They do back away. Does have the opportunity to heal up if they can make their way back home. Units moving on this side. Villagers vacating that wood line entirely, almost. Yep, looks like entirely, actually. Oh, Ghazi's missing an opportunity here. There it is. He spots it and he's going to take it. Does have 1 spearman, though, which is a problem. Five minutes on the ticking timer, guys. This could be it. It could be the time. Ghazi is diving on in, but spearmen kind of having a field day with them. Ghazi need to come back and heal. Grouping up the army. It looks like Louis, he's had enough. Going to torch down the outpost and break his way through. Bear in mind, Marino does have back gold, which is absolutely fine. Louis pushing on heavy. But he doesn't quite have enough, I don't think. I mean, this is after all crazy HP archers. And he's chasing away even cavalry. Guys, 4 minutes 45 seconds. Not long, but he's being decapped in the north. I mean, if you can get there in time, that's fantastic. But if you can't... Oh no, he's not going to get there in time. The counter's going to be reset. There it is. And the horseman came in just out of time. But this is a fight. Line formation up against the Delhi Sultanate. I think Delhi Sultanate could win this. Maybe he's got the faster attack speed on the archers. I think he's got lots of cavalry as well. So he would win this fight generally. Question is whether he'll be allowed to take the fight or not. There it is. He's taking it now. Archers getting butchered. Archers on our backside there on the army here for the Delhi. They're achieving quite a bit on the retreat. A lot of the Marinelord's units are perishing. The kind of concern for Marinelord is that loueMT is camping these production buildings. So as soon as units come out, they try and tell them the truth about things before they get converted into working for the Abbasid dynasty in the army. There it is. The fight they were expecting to see, archers versus archers. It feels like Delhi doesn't have quite enough. I mean, the defender's advantage is really suiting Marinelord and the Abbasids. Again, there's Exile in the north once again, trying to rekindle that flame. Both players backing away. Crazy feudal age fight. Almost 20 minutes, by the way. And everyone's been in the feudal age. Here comes the farming transition. This is the awkward situation where it's very difficult for them to safely take out pocket economies. Could do well with getting an outpost on the west side, as you can imagine. And I totally appreciate, don't want to be harassed in resources back at home at least. So that's the sacred site timer once again. loueMT though is trying to push it back a little bit. Does have a decent number of Ghazi raiders. Look at them, they're being peppered with arrows. I mean, composite bows is not quite in just yet, but I'll tell you what is. It's the extra armor, extra health on these villagers. 15%. Wait, does I say armor? No, I take it back. Sorry, the extra gather rate. I'm very sleepy, guys. It's almost like it's gone by past midnight for me. Either way, great archer fight here. I mean, it feels like Marina's got more, especially with the boot camp in. Increasing that HP on the archers, although 1 or 2 Ghazi might turn the fight, absorbing a lot of the arrow fire, allows loueMT's archers to do some damage. Don't forget, it does have a 20% attack speed on these archers in the Delhi, so maybe it's not too terrible. The attack speed versus the extra HP. We have to see who wins. Either way, it looks like now Marinelord's backing away. Yeah, with the Ghazi raiders trickling on in, that's going to be massive. It draws a lot of the focus fire from those archers. They do get good value because there's less chance of overkilling as much. But definitely worth it here for loueMT to keep up that pressure. Louis backing away for now. Doesn't want to dive in and commit too heavily. Takes out timer. Is that 9 minutes at the moment? It's kind of crazy. He's been so kind of greedy with the deer camp here. He's managing, but he's getting an outpost now to defend at least. Archer numbers looking pretty good though for the bastards. I've got to say, I don't think Delhi have enough here. We'll have to see. He might be just looking to buy some time. But this number of Ghazi raiders though will certainly help. They'll absorb a lot of the archer fire. Allows loueMT's archers to do what they want to do on the back line. But he's going to get surrounded now. Now this is no time to retreat. Louis, he's going to get caught out here. Marinelord is going to take out a lot of archer numbers. And there's not a lot that Louis can do about it. He's going to send a couple of Ghazi raiders. If a couple of spearmen pop out here for the abbasid, that could be cannons if they take out the Ghazis. In fact, they won't need to. It looks like the archers themselves will do it. The Delhi Sultanate increased 20% attack speed in the archers. They're kind of overkilling their enemy archers, but they're doing some decent damage. Here come some more Ghazi raiders, and you can feel the need for this for Louis for sure. He has killed 21 villages in total so far. That's pretty heavy. Louis gathering the deer camp in the south. Very nice. Alright, Seg site in the north. Still captured by loueMT, keeping it safe and secure. At least with units. Oh, could possibly take an engagement here. I'm not so sure how I feel about it. That number of Ghazi raiders, it looks pretty decent for the Delhi. Well, if he kites this well, the ambassador should be okay. He is kiting it pretty heavily. He does have 1 or 2 spearmen, but they get sniped instantaneously. But the archer numbers for Louis, I mean, this is a crazy army almost. He's really pumping them out. Alright, this is the explanation for the bit of reduction in production. And it's going to be because of the farming transition needed. Same can be said for Jean. About to charge on in though. Does it go for the Iraq? Does it go for the jumping in here? It might jump it on in here for Marinelord. I mean, he might dive it. Yeah, he's going to dive it with the Ghazi raiders. And this is a problem here for Louis. If he does lose the Ghazi raiders, I mean, the defender's advantage is definitely here for Marinelord, and Ghazi numbers are starting to dwindle a little bit. And this is an issue. He's lost the Ghazi raiders, and now all of a sudden Marinelord's army is looking pretty hefty. He continues to reinforce, and loueMT might have to... I mean, he's going to trade off here. He's going to trade off the extra attack speed versus the extra HP. But he's going to fight underneath the outpost and does back away in the end. He doesn't want to lose everything. So excited victory. Approaching once again. 6 minutes on the clock though. For that. That might be the calm before the storm, because I think Marinelord's going to be saving up for one big push at some point, it seems. But only 7 villages on food. You can see farming transitions hit him hard. That's not a good time for that, actually, because there's only 6 minutes on the clock. He's got to find a response. And the farming has already been sort of kind of similar times, to be fair, but the Delhi started theirs a little bit earlier. Going to start torching down, forcing the Abbasid dynasty into areas, which is exactly what the Delhi would want to do, right? Always pressurizing the Abbasids, forcing them to peel off army down the south where maybe they don't want to be. Because I'm sure they'd rather be deactivating a sacred site or two. You're getting an outpost here, Marinelord in the north one. I mean, this is a smart play to deactivate it, right? I feel like Louis could have got some palisade walls here by now. Unfortunately not. I was going to get arrow slits as well, just to make sure that's going to... I love what he's doing there, by the way, because he's not really deactivating it just yet. He's just making sure he's got all the infrastructure so that he can, and keep it. Because if he does force a fight there in the north, if he gets the static defenses, he's going to have a slight edge. A couple of villages do garrison inside. I think the Gaza Raiders might just about get one. Does get one in the end, but it's going to be the Castle coming in for the Delhi with the compound and the defender. That's going to be a really nice power spike for the Delhi, I've got to say. This will come down to the fact that he's had those 3 sacred sites. Pretty hefty, and he's also killed 22 villagers, no less. Pretty crazy number. And Marinelord heading with the ram down the middle, looking to open up the pathway once again. Now with the tech up coming in for the compound and the defender, I wonder whether Marinelord will start to just halt production just to make sure he gets there as quick as possible. Bear in mind there's no way to quicken it up, so once he does click on the House of Wisdom, it will just take as long as it takes. There it is. It's going to be the culture wing. Going to be, I think, giving him access to preservation of knowledge, cheaper costs of technology, of course, and loueMT now in the castle age. And getting village fortresses, or he's getting everything he can, of course, because they're completely free, so why not? It does seem like now, obviously, deactivated that sacred site in the north. And for the second time, this is that potential win condition, but I guess loueMT did extract a decent amount of gold from that. Now it's looking to start picking up relics, but now it's the Abbasid dynasty to be aggressive, and they kind of concern. Hey, wait, is he going to get composite bows, or does he wait for the culture wing? I think he just gets it, no? Oh, wait, he needs to wait for it first. It takes a bit of time. Culture wing is coming first, and then you'll be able to get the good old composite bows. But the big pressure coming in for the Abbasids. Got to be careful not to overextend himself then, Marino, because a couple of heavily armored units will do wonders here for the Delhi. And it's getting it in the form of the Lancers. We'll lose 1 stable for now, at least. Now, there won't be any veterancy. The Delhi at this stage of the game really just have to work with the premium units being made from scratch, while there's a bit of a distraction. Now, because of the fact that, you know, the research times do vary on the scholar counts that the Delhi Sultanate have, especially without the Dome of the Faith, he's less likely to have as many scholars. So the research speed is going to be relatively slow. He's taking the fight now against these archers before they become composite bows archers. I like this play by Delhi because whilst he might lose quite a lot to the dive, what he's really doing is thinning down these numbers of archers before boot camp. Well, boot camp's already in, but before boot camp combines with composite bows, and that would be hefty. Wallow just has a bit of confusion. And he's diving the town centre. He's picking off reinforcements as they pop out. And even has a Marinelord behind all of this. They're lacking gold here. I think both players are, to be fair. It's going to queue up composite bows. Before even getting preservation of knowledge, it makes a lot of sense. He wants it now if he can. He's fighting underneath the town centre. Is it a good idea or not? I think for Louis it is. I think it is, because he might lose archers, but ultimately he's doing more damage and he's causing a lot of idle time. Marinelord, oh god, this could be huge. Marinelord's being zoned out of his own base. Marinelord deploys. He's got to be careful. 1 or 2 big hot shots might just turn everything, although as I say that, he did lose the Marinelord in the end. Adding in a couple of man-at-arms here, or Gulam I should say, the Abbasids. Going to be hacking and slashing against those archers, which don't do too much damage actually without the second upgrade, the balanced projectiles upgrade for them. And even then, it's not that great. A couple of units being sent around the back. Now the army has been defeated here for Louis, but it's got a decent bank of resources. Could just continue to pump them out. A crazy back and forth game, I've got to say. It's just like a pendulum swinging back and forth. Absolutely bonkers. Now it's Marinelord. His turn to be aggressive again. With the veterancy in and composite bows in as well. Trying to get a keep in the forward position. I mean, I like that. Wait, he deletes it again for a second time because I think he's worried about it not going up right, which is makes a lot of sense. I think that'd be a big throw of the game if he does lose because he couldn't get a keep when he committed to one. But again, it's still taking time for these upgrades to come on in for Louis. And that's the trade-off of getting 4 relics nice and early. Alright, sacred sites are starting to be neutralised now. Apparently it's Marinelord's turn to just camp the base and pick off stray units. This could be a problem actually. I mean, has got to find a way to deal with this mass archers, and that could be one way actually with the cavalry charging on in. Last at Marinelord. Oh, it came out the worst possible time there for Louis. Good snipe by Marinelord after all. As in a couple of crossbows, needs to take out the lancers that the abbasid dynasty is sending on in. Villagers coming off of food on the farms. Not ideal. Marinelord keeping a lot of the economy idled here for the Delhi. Oh, another Marinelord. Does it deploy? Oh, he's not spotted it. Marinelord has not spotted it. Oh, good. This could be huge. Oh, he spotted it now. Oh, I didn't get a shot in the end. Nice pick off by Marinelord to spot it. Getting a keep on the southern sacred site will protect this gold as well as that sacred site. Pretty influential and important. Getting the rams right in the middle of the base. And that means that Marinelord doesn't have to travel with them. He's just going to start pounding away at stuff and infrastructure. Gulam heading on the east side. 4 of them. He's starting to group up again for another wave of attack, possibly. Getting another keep round the back on the farms. And this could be a fight that actually loueMT decides to take, although there's a decent number of archers, so reinforcements wouldn't be great. All this army on the right side split off into 2 is not ideal. 87 military versus 29. Marinelord starting to really get a firm grip on the game, and with a camel rider or 2, that could be really useful for Cameronese. It causes enemy cavalry to deal out 20% less damage, which is massive. And blue, Marinelord, he just wants to make sure that farming economy can't be working actively. Gonna go for the relic situation now, potentially. Looks like Marinelord gonna go to the Imperial Age behind all of this. That's gonna be a great power spike, I gotta say, and it's something that Delhi will really struggle with. Like, it's only just now that Delhi have already got the veterancy upgrades on his units. Not that there's many of them anymore. What it means is that the tech up for Marinelord is going to get cheaper techs. As long as he's got the culture wing preservation of knowledge, which he does. That makes the Imperial Age cheaper, but also makes everything else just generally cheaper. In a big way. He's taking so many villager losses here. loueMT, I mean, he tried to get a keep up in the end, but it does go in the end. But he lost so many villagers for it. He's down to 80. Bear in mind that with village fortresses in, he could start to produce more villagers from the keep. It's definitely nice, safe and secure, but 2 rams starting to threaten that. It's kind of an issue. And try and address it with the cavalry on the west side. loueMT going for a bit of a counter raid. Sometimes they do say attack is the best form of defense, but this is not great that he's having to vacate this location. He's kind of spread all across the map though, the Delhi. This Archibald just never gives up, especially with the Gulam numbers. Sending a couple of lancers around the back to get as much value as possible, but he's walled up as pretty decently well. Now the unfortunate thing for Marinelord doesn't really have many units with torches, so they can't really do as much torch damage as perhaps that he would have wanted. Lancers starting to hack and slash and kill whatever they can, but can't get too close to those arbaletier. They're looking pretty decent. Another ram popping out. In fact, they're just going to brute force this way with the man-at-arms. Around the back, nothing on wood. He's starting to lose the capital town centre, possibly after that the compound of the defender. It's not looking great. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. He taps out. Marinelord takes the game. He takes it in a big way with a massive pushback in the end. loueMT wasn't able to hold on as the Delhi Sultan. It was a fascinating end to the match. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care and see you next time.